All right, here we go. This is the official August BTG Guitar Society. What is it? BTG? Technically, it should be BTG Society, right? Beyond the Guitar Society meeting. We got a small group this month. We got Evan and Seth playing, but it's going to be awesome regardless. So Evan's going to start us out. So I'm going to spotlight you and let you introduce it. Take it away.
Awesome. So I'm going to play, let me get my mic set up here first. I'm going to play a piece that I've already played before, but it's starting to get a little under my fingers. And I got the percussion section. I actually have the paper for it so I can read it this time. It is called Django by Paolo Bellinati. It's originally a piece that was written for two guitars, and then my guitar duo partner dropped off the face of the map for a while, so I just decided I have to start playing the solo version of it if I want to play it for my recital. So I'm going to do it for a recital later on this year, but this is Django, Paolo Bellinati. Hold on. I need to find my little thingy I put on my leg. There it is. Just keep the guitar from sliding. Okay. Django by Paolo Bellinati.
Dude.
Yeah, that piece is a little I don't know. It's an endurance match.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that piece.
Oh, it's fun. It's real fun.
That's really cool. That's definitely one of those where it's like that's like one of those pieces that would spawn the cliche story of how people fall in love with the classical guitar initially, where they first hear a recording and they swear it's two guitars. Although ironically, I guess in this case it could be, but they hear that
Yeah.
and they're like, because yeah, there's some parts of that it's and you a testament to your performance too. You really like split up those voices too, where it really is clearly what would be two guitars and put together, like with that cool section with that droning arpeggio with the bass line melody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that part. I think that's my favorite part.
It's real hard though on like it's supposed to be super easy on duo parts, so you have two different lines and then one person just keeps doing an easy part.
Right.
But when you have to play it with guitar, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and I'm doing it like a 2/4, like I'm 6/8 3/4, just Django rhythm that keeps switching up, and then I have to keep a constant 6/8 drone. So
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know, it's weird. It's real tricky to do.
How is that whole percussion solo thing notated? I mean, does it have a different does it have like a whole legend of what you gotta
I just went straight through. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's notated like normal percussion music. It basically says this note, you hit it there, and then
Right.
it's just repeat this 4 times, repeat this 4 times. If there were two guitars, I would do percussion solo kind of trade-offs, but this is just going through it because yeah,
Very cool.
yeah,
Very cool.
it's really cool. I like the percussion section in the middle that just breaks that up before going back to the top.
That's right. You're gonna get people dancing, dancing in the audience. Yeah, I like it. Very good.
Thank you.
What's up, Jamie? By the way, yes, you were muted. We didn't hear you. You're good.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thanks for playing that again, Evan. It's sounding really good. Really
Bring
good.
it back in another month or two when it's like just when it's there, and then I can
Yeah, man.
actually throw some semblance of dynamics into the piece.
There you
So that'd
go.
be nice.
Right.
Right now, it's all just 100% trying to get it to go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta get all your eggs in a row first. But yeah, that's one thing that's cool about these kind of things is really, like we talk about, hearing the evolution of the piece, as it gets more and more under your fingers and you add more and more of the musicality to it. It's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
awesome. All right. Well, then we'll keep it moving. Head on over to Spotlight Seth and let Seth introduce what he's doing. And
Hello. I guess I'll just play my latest one, which happens to be a medley from RuneScape, if you guys are familiar with it. How do you turn off that audio thing again?
if you have if you have it set up properly, it should show up always in the top left of the video window. Turn on original sound.
I thought I did that last month. It's not showing up though.
You
Mm.
might not be signed in to your Zoom account. Every time I click the link to open on Windows, I'm never signed in. So it'll just open up and it'll have my name up here, but like it won't have all my settings saved.
Well, that certainly puts a damper on things. Does this sound all right?
You can hear it, but you can definitely tell the compression and stuff is in there. Are you using the app or the web client?
I am on. I think I'm on the app right now. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to real quick jump out and try to log back in and see if you got the setting. Otherwise, we can hear it. It'll just have a little bit of that weird effect on it.
All right. I'll be back in.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Great.
Alrighty. Well, little intermission.
Is Jamie not playing anything for us today?
No, Jamie. She doesn't she's not a guitarist. She's been she doesn't pop in. It looks like she hopped out too. But yeah, she's kind of been following my stuff since back when I used to live stream on that Crew app. I don't know if I ever talked about that in here, but she first started getting involved back then, and so she's just an enthusiastic member of the community. She does play some instruments, but not guitar.
Well, I mean, I don't think this meeting has to be just guitar music, you know?
That's true. It doesn't.
Somebody else has like a piano piece that they arrange or something.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I want to hear some other stuff.
Yeah, I'm planning out what that, like we talked about last time, what the community side of things for when I want to launch the membership site within the next couple months, and so I got to decide what this would look like in that context, because I want to kind of bring this over into that, because that's going to be the easiest and most natural way to get more people involved, because it'll be a much more targeted group. You know, it's going to be all guitarists. Yeah. So I just
advertise too on the site.
Yeah, it'll be a much more organized kind of thing. So I just have to figure out what that's going to look like specifically, because I want it to be like, can't have there be too many things that are a part of it, because I want to do like a monthly live stream thing and this, and so I got to kind of pick and choose what's going to be included, because otherwise things get spread too thin, and then it's, you know, but I would also like to account for multiple time zones if possible, and if there are more people, it'd be hard to fit it into one group like this. So but a lot of that might be kind of just playing by ear.
Yeah, this wouldn't, if you had a big European audience too, who all of a sudden showed up, that'd be a little hard to do.
Right.
Kind of.
So,
I mean, you could always, if you get enough people, break it up into like community meetings. You could do like a sort of a rotating cast of, okay, we have 30 guitarists who want to play. We can't all just sit there and play for 4 hours straight with 30 people. What we could do is just break it up into groups of maybe 8 or 10.
Yeah. And probably, yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, as kind of leaders kind of show themselves through the community, then, you know, could probably have, multiple ones. And then I wouldn't necessarily be in all of them. Again, they might be more community led, because the main thing is for people to be playing for each other. So if we end up doing multiple time zones and for multiple people, obviously I wouldn't be able to be there for all of them, but we could have community led ones where certain people would lead them. And then that way it could be split. Yeah. Like that 30 could be split into, you know, 3 or 4 groups. And but yeah, that'd be really, really cool to get different time zones represented and stuff like that. So anyway.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
All right, let's see if we got it. Is it popping up for you now, Seth?
Yep, it worked.
Awesome. All right, giving you the spotlight.
there you have it.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a great arrangement.
Thank you. I still don't even have that thing memorized. It was
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
hard to shoot
sure.
video for it. I kind of had to. I did like 15 takes for like one part.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Were you just reading music, or did you have that all in your head there?
I had it all in my head.
So how the hell do you make like an arrangement every week that's that long and just
I have no
have
idea.
in your head?
I have
It's
no
crazy.
idea. Most of the songs that I'm doing right now, I know them really well. And the RuneScape one, I was able to pull off a 6-minute medley in 1 week because, like, have you ever played the game?
No.
Because the music's all super like stripped down and simple, and Ian Taylor, the guy who wrote all the music, he did all of it with a keyboard. So like it was really easy to just translate it onto guitar and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's a lot of work to do it in a week, but I can do it. Eventually, I'm gonna cut back and do it every other week. But for right now, I can keep up with it, so I do it. So usually, I can get the actual arrangement done in a day and a half or so. That one I actually put together in a day. It was a very long day, but I did it in a day. And then I practice it for a couple of days, record it. Sometimes I'll do audio, video, and all the editing in one night. And I don't know. I just make it work.
Yeah.
That's so fast. You're just spitting them out right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's great. That is very, yeah, it's one of those things where it's easy for people who aren't guitarists or don't know, like we know the work that's involved, right? Like, like Evan's saying, like when we see somebody putting out something every week like that, we're like, oh my gosh, like that's insane. And, but it's one of those things where it's easy for people who are outside of that to kind of take that for granted. But yeah, I mean, I stopped the weekly because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I want to cut back to once every other week because I feel like the quality of the arrangement itself and also the recording will obviously get better. Like if I have more time to practice it, like I always do this. Like I get the whole thing done, and then like as I'm recording the video, I'm actually playing the song better in the video than I was on the recording.
Yeah.
But like now I'm at the point where like, do I want to go back and like re-record everything because then I got to do all the video again? And I don't know. I'm just rambling here.
Yeah, there's definitely. I mean, it all depends on the the goal, your goal, right? Because creating content for YouTube is its own beast, and you want to try to cater to that, right? So like you have to balance this fine line of quantity versus quality, right? You don't want to sacrifice quality, but as artists, we can also fall into the trap of like perfecting, and then there's no quantity at all. We're just never putting anything out there. And so you have to walk that line and decide for yourself where's that line for you. And it can be something that's in flux. You can, like, just because you're doing weekly now, like you said, you don't have to always be committed to that. And that's something that you can experiment with. Like I decided to make the call. I initially started doing weeklies with back when I did Concerning Hobbits. That was like the thing that started off my weekly. And, I so every once in a while I would miss a week, but there were a lot of weeks in there that I was pretty consistent with it. And then I decided to try to pull back and see if it would affect my growth, right? And so you can watch that. You can pull back and say like, okay, well, if I go to 2 videos a month, is that going to hurt me in the algorithm? And you can compare from there. And if it does, then keep pumping out more consistently. Like you can kind of experiment with different formats. And but yeah, I mean, more is always a good thing if you can keep the quality up and doesn't burn you out.
I mean, exactly, because like the quality that I'm putting out right now, like it's not bad. Like it's pretty good. I'm happy with where I'm at in this whole process. I'd like a new microphone because this thing. But But other than that, like, I think I'm good. So I'm just gonna try and hang with one video for as long as I can. The other thing
Yeah.
that I was kind of panicking about the other day is I think I'm running out of songs that I want to do, if that makes sense. There's still a lot of songs that I can do, but I think I've done all of the ones that I really, really want to. So I gotta go back into the vaults of old video games and TV shows that I watched and pick some stuff out to find some new stuff. I'm gonna try and do a Lord of the Rings one tonight. See if I can get the arrangement done in one night.
That's a tough one. Getting Lord of the Rings to sound good on guitar. Yeah,
I know. There's so much going on.
I don't want to say you cheated with Concerning Hobbits, but you kind of cheated with Concerning Hobbits. That one's a little easier.
But it doesn't matter because what you put out sounded really good. And since I listened to your version, I learned that Concerning Hobbits doesn't really need all of those extra parts. You know, what you did was perfect.
Yeah. The Concerning Hobbits and then Riders of Rohan are the only ones that I've touched. I did a duet for May It Be, so that doesn't really count. But I pretty strategically avoid ones that I do wimp out a lot of times when I listen to it. I'm like, I really don't know if that's going to translate. That's why I like the Batman. One of the most requested things is like the that original like Batman theme. And I just haven't tackled a full-on version of it yet because I just know that it's going to be such an uphill battle. So sometimes I'll kind of pick and choose on that because I know how much work it's going to be to make it sound first and foremost like it was meant for the guitar. But
it is a little harder and a lot more work is going to go into it, but you can get away with guitar duos, arranging stuff for guitar duo that just. Like, if there's a piece that you want to tackle that you can't get, you make it for two guitars, and it sounds just as good.
Yeah.
The only issue is...
I do that all the time, actually. I did that in my Kingdom Come Deliverance one, and I also did it in my first one, which was the Bannered Mare from Skyrim. Like, I tried to, like, figure it out for, like, one guitar, and actually, I forget his name. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he does all, like, all the classical Skyrim covers on YouTube. Anyway.
Isaac Saleh? Yeah.
He does it on one guitar, and it's really good. And I was listening to it, and like, since the original song was two guitars, like, why don't I just do this for two guitars? So I did, and it sounds great. Not that his version isn't good, because his version's awesome, because it's all one guitar, but like, you can't really get like the sustain and like the open chords and stuff like that when you're doing it on one guitar.
Yeah, there's definitely no wrong, and that's one thing I would like to see too when we start doing this like community thing with around arranging is like seeing people arranging in different contexts. Like, it doesn't have to be limited to one guitar, right? You can, like, I loved when Cecil did the guitar in Urhu thing, and like, you can arrange for two guitars, and Lucas, I have no idea how to say his last name, Guitars and Dragons, if you've come across his YouTube channel. Yeah, something like that. I love his stuff. He does really good work, and a lot of his stuff he can do really great solo guitar arrangements, but he'll also supplement a lot with two guitars, often with a 12-string steel string guitar, which is perfect for a lot of that kind of more fantasy. Like, he does some like Witcher stuff with it, and it really matches that tone, so there's a lot to be said about that as well.
Yeah, I have a 12-string. I've been meaning to write it into a couple of my arrangements. Needs new strings though. It's had the same strings on it for about 8 years. Just so much work to change it.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's like twice as much work at least.
and then once you factor in all of like the like tuning it, like I need to, whenever I change the strings on that 12-string, I need to tune it for like 25 minutes, and then 5 minutes later it's out of whack again, and then it's another 25 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a nightmare. But cool. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you, gentlemen, for playing. You both sounded awesome. Keep up the good work. Evan, looking forward to hearing that piece as it continues to develop. And Seth, look forward to seeing what you're putting out next. So we'll reconvene on Discord, and I guess probably last Sunday of September is when we'll plan the next one, or we'll talk about it. But
Yeah, cool.
It'll probably be like the 28th or the 29th if that was the last Saturday.
yeah,
So it's pretty up there.
yeah, cool.
Put that video out for this thing. I want to go look and see how I did. I want to hear the recording that I played.
Yeah, I'll get that uploaded sometime today once it gets all rendered and everything, and I'll put that in the Discord.
All right, cool.
Okay.
I'll be active on Discord all night, so drop in and say hi.
Sounds good. We'll do. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you over there.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
All right, you too.